Welcome to this week, Struttin and been laughing. Struttin and Ruttin, the podcast. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Joe and I just got
with
back
an
from
entrance
Florida.
like that, you'd have thought he killed something
know.
in Florida. My
That
God,
was bad. Let's start all over. Welcome to this week's edition of Struttin and Ruttin, the podcast. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Joe and I got back from Florida yesterday. We went down there to hunt some Osceola turkeys. We had an awesome time. However, we did not have the success that we wanted, but we did learn a lot and had a blast while we were down there.
It was a blast. Met some good people.
Yes. Terry and Bobby Latner, Steven Rogers. Adam doesn't count because he didn't even.
Yeah,
He was out there Friday night, but he didn't even show up Saturday, so we're not counting him. But we'll go over that. We'll go over, start talking about getting ready for our Kansas trip, and then the Indiana turkey season comes in that following Wednesday when we get back from Kansas, which will be April 24th.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's coming on. So it's time to start getting geared up for some turkey hunting. First and foremost, the new kid in the corner is Cade. I will let him introduce himself. We originally brought him on as a intern for Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors to do some filming, some content-related stuff. And then after watching some of the stuff that he's already done, talking to the team, we said, heck with that. We just brought him on full-time. So Cade is the new member of Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you got started in hunting and all that good stuff.
Oh, well, I just recently moved to southern Indiana, going on 3 years now. My wife was originally from Salem, and actually my whole family's originally from Salem. It's just kind of ironic that, I married somebody that's from the same hometown that my dad grew up in. I started hunting there, I would say I got into it about 12, 13 years old, and kind of came naturally because I didn't really have my family they weren't avid hunters.
Right.
So I mean, it's just kind of something that seemed intriguing to me. So I just sat there and watched videos, and I got my mom to take me to the hunter's education course. She dropped me off at the Gander Mountain in Terre Haute, Indiana for 3 days straight over a weekend. I just sit in there by myself and got my education and got a license and killed my first deer that following year, and I've been hooked ever since. So
Sweet. Well, we're glad to have you on board.
Yep.
I know you're going to bring a lot of good things to the team, so we're pretty excited about it. So, me and Joe.
Hey, Terry.
What's going on, Terry?
All right, I'm just going to sit back and listen to this here. This is going to be funny. Oh, just your story.
It's going to be funny.
Funny?
Did that say what he said?
That's what he said.
It's going to be
So
funny.
we left Friday morning, 3 a.m. and headed to Florida to chase some Osceolas. We went to a town called Dunellen, which is, about an hour southwest of Ocala?
Right.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So we were fortunate enough that Bobby and Terry Latner were our host. Bobby had invited us down. I invited Joe down last year, and then
2 years ago, actually.
2 years ago.
It was 3 years in the making for this trip. So
right, and then last year COVID kicked in.
Yep. Yeah, the first year we were talking, we got to talking a little bit late to make it happen. So we had it planned for last year, and a week before time to go down, that's when COVID hit. They shut everything down, so we had to cancel.
Then we made it happen this year.
Made it happen this year. Yep.
To clarify, this was Joe's trip, and you mooched your way onto it.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. All right. Matt the mooch.
That's
that's
kind
clear.
of the same situation as the Kansas trip as well.
Well, hey, when you're lucky, you're lucky, I guess. I'll take them anytime I can get them.
I hear you.
So, Cade, what he's saying is you got to produce a hunting trip within the next couple of years.
Yeah, we'll get you on one. We'll mooch off somebody. But we headed down there. Got down there Friday evening, about 3:30.
Yep.
And had a chance to meet up with Bobby, and then Bobby took us out. So how it works is they got like 1,100 acres that is considered a hunting club down there. Here, we have like leases. We could lease anywhere from 50 acres to 200 acres or whatever. But it's 1,100 acre hunt club where there's several members that's part of this hunt club. And then Joe and I got to go to that hunt club as guests. Bobby was one of them, and then Bobby's nephew, Steven, was the other one that I signed in under. So we went out Friday evening and done some scouting. Didn't hear any birds, but a lot of it was cool because just the layout of the land, just the land itself, I know I'm not used to because
Right, it was totally different.
when I go to Florida, it's all about sand and the ocean view, I've never really been in the rural part of Florida. So it was pretty cool to see the palmettos, the thick brush, just the,
Right.
I'm terrified of snakes. So the first thing I asked Steven was, I was like, what kind of reptiles you all have down here? They had timber
Hoping and
rattlers.
praying they wouldn't say there was snakes.
Timber rattlers, pygmy rattlers, copperheads, cottonmouths. I mean,
And he just kept going on.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, shut her down, bud. Shut her down. We're good. I don't need to see any of them. But so Friday evening was just pretty much scouting and getting to know them and that type of stuff. And then Saturday morning rolls around, and we head to the hunt club. And we meet Bobby and Steven and them guys out there, and we spent all day trying to locate birds. Now, the thing about Florida is a lot of that you can't really see. You can't see very far. So if the toms aren't gobbling, it's hard, here in southern Indiana, we're used to just taking off. You go, and then you can see for a pretty good ways because it's not really greened up yet. So we just spent most of the day Saturday trying to locate birds, and, we went all day and hadn't heard anything. And then Terry, Bobby's wife, got a hold of one of her friends that is kind of like a semi-guided turkey hunter. He has several properties around that area. So we ended up going to one of those properties, and we was going to try to sit there till dark and see if we could roost a bird there to go back the next morning or whatever. Or even if a tom come in with a lone hen or whatever, get a shot at it. And so we go there, we get all set up, and we sat there for a while, and then Terry
It was about 7:30, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about 7:30. We only had like a half-hour daylight left.
Yeah.
And then we were just sitting there, and Terry had told us, right behind that property, there was a walking trail on this state property or whatever. All of a sudden, these people come walking down through there, and we're just like, all right, we're busted, whatever. But when the kid sees the decoys and starts hollering at his dad, he's like, Dad, there's turkeys over there. So then he's going to come over and try to grab our decoys, and Joe's like waving his hands. He's like, no, those are decoys. But that was pretty interesting. So then...
Yeah, it kind of blew that.
And then Sunday morning, we got up and went back to the same spot.
Right.
And then we sat there for an hour, 2 hours.
Right.
It was like 8:30.
It was 8:30, and then Terry, she'd been sitting over there all morning working out the deal to get us over to this other spot.
The horse farm. So then we finally, that afternoon, or that morning, we get to the horse farm. And we talked to the lady that owned the horse farm, and we knew that there was turkeys on there because she said she'd seen several turkeys. So Joe and I get on this. We're on this ambush mission that we're going to shoot one of these Osceola turkeys. It's just played out in our head. Game on. It's going to be game over in about 45 minutes, and we're heading to Indiana. No. We go all the way to the back of the property, and the way that property's set up, there's a little pasture in the back of it. So we set up on that little pasture, and it's the first toms we've heard gobble all weekend, and they're just gobbling their head off. Just so we are all excited. Me and Joe sitting there beside each other, and there's two toms gobbling. And the first thing me and Joe think of, we're pulling a double on camera, game over. Steven, which is Bobby's nephew, ran the camera for us all weekend. So thank you, Steven, if you're watching. We totally appreciate
He's
it.
a camera guy here.
Camera guy. That was his name all weekend, was Camera Guy. Done an awesome job. And he even done calling for us, too, when we were sitting up in this pasture. And Steven was calling, and these toms got within like 50 yards. The thing is, we're sitting in this hayfield, and you can't even see in the woods. There's woods like 20 yards from us.
Yeah, we can only see 20 yards, and then it's real thick woods. And like I said, down there in the woods, you can't see 10 feet in front of you hardly.
So these birds get hung up, right? So they're just strutting back and forth. And me and Joe's like, what's going on, So I turn and look at Terry, and me and Terry's kind of like whispering back and forth. And I just assumed that they were with hens. I thought they were henned up and just wasn't going anywhere.
I knew something had them hung up, but I didn't know what.
So they eventually just shut up, and we sat there for probably another 10 or 15 minutes. When we got up and I walked all the way down that hayfield, and I was just going to peek inside the woods to see if I could see him. But when I peeked inside the woods, it was just wide open in there. Nice, grass this tall, perfect, beautiful. But you just couldn't see in there. Well, I look in there, and there's a 7-foot tall fence that runs from one end of the property to the other. And then Tom's was on the other side of it, just going back and forth. So That's what happened to the turkeys. We seen them. I seen the toms on the other side of the fence, on the other side of a log. They took off down over the hill. So then we walk back around the property to try to cut them off, and we get around there, and both them toms is in a cow feeder, just sitting there eating.
There's 3 of them up there then.
3 of them, yeah, there was 3 of them there then. So then we try to get up there, like work our way up there. Well, then they see us and they head off. So then we go back around the property, trying to cut them off again, and we walk. As soon as we walk in the woods, there it goes, right across the hayfield. So that was the end of our trip. It was an awesome trip. Met some awesome people. We learned a lot about Florida and Osceolas. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that, Cade and I, we talked about it earlier. I mean, there's people that go down there 3 or 4 years and don't kill a bird until they finally get it.
I know a couple of people went down there 2-3 times in a row before they finally got a bird. They're just the hardest subspecies of wild turkey in the continental U.S. to get killed.
Well, we learned that this year
for
sure. I mean, and here's the other thing too. You know, being Indiana guys, when we looked at the forecast, and they're calling for like mid 60s, upper 60s. We're thinking that's heat wave. I'm packing shorts, t-shirt. You know,
Right.
We get down there, and Bobby is like, I ain't got enough jackets. I ain't got enough.
I looked over at him one time, and he had his hands in his pocket, and his lip was quivering. And I said, "Are you really that cold?" He said, "Yeah, I need another jacket."
Me and Joe's ready to peel clothes off. You know, it's a heat wave for us.
I was sitting there like, man, I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah. But the way the climate's set up down there, I really think that hurt us a lot too, because it's no different than here. You know, when our turkey season rolls down and we get a cold snap, it shuts stuff down. I mean, I think that's what happened to us too.
Yeah.
I mean, but we got an open invitation next year, and we're pretty excited about it. So.
There was plenty of sign everywhere. I mean, there was turkey tracks everywhere. Of course, bear tracks too.
Right.
But I mean, there was turkey tracks everywhere, all over that place. So
I did send Roller some pictures of some bear tracks. I think I posted on our Facebook and Instagram, but I'll post them up here too. But we're walking down one of they call them their fire lanes, you know, which logging roads does,
yeah.
Fire lanes that go throughout these properties, and we're just walking down through there, and Joe and Bobby's ahead of me and Steven, and Steve just happened to looks down, and he goes, "Look at that bear track," and if Roller ever pulls it up.
I didn't know if you were ready for me to share
I said 20 minutes ago.
all the things from your trip in Florida.
You had one job. Really? Double-decker fudge out?
Well, it's the only thing you
serious?
killed the entire
Yeah.
time you were in Florida.
He killed a whole box.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whatever.
I had 3
But
pictures from your trip to Florida. That's what I got.
Uh-huh. Whatever. You can see there on the right. Is it on the screen there? I don't know. You can see on the right there is that bear track.
Yeah, it's almost the size of a double-decker fudge round.
It is. It's bigger than a double-decker fudge round. Steven put his hand under next to it, and Joe took the picture. But that bear, they have trail cam pictures of this bear, and Steven said that his feeder is like 6 foot off the ground, and that bear is sitting on his hind quarters eating out of that feeder, sitting down. So, I mean, that just gives you perspective on how big that bear
Until
is.
you all sent that picture, I didn't know that there were a bear in Florida.
I didn't either.
And the funny thing is,
Found out real quick there's a bear in Florida.
one of the spots that we were thinking about when we were sitting there going, okay, where are we going to hunt at? That was one of the spots we were going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we chose that little small field that we hunted Saturday morning, and then Adam sent us a picture and said, hey, look what I got on my trail cam pic this morning at 6:13, and there was that bear again. So
It was like 2 hours before we went through there.
yeah.
I'm out. But the picture on the left is actually, you know, this was a cool picture that Joe took on his phone, but it's cool because that is what that's the view down there. So the palmettos and the just a thick underbrush, that's what we were hunting in, which I don't know, for us it was cool because
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
it's normal to them, but it was
Yeah.
cool to us because we're hunting underneath, some palm trees. And
I think what's cool, and I know I've seen the hunting public do it too, like we talked about on the way down here, but Bobby would cut one of those palmettos off and use it as a ground blind. And I'm telling you, you talk about a nice ground blind because just the way they're fanned out and you can see through all the leaves on it, it worked out good.
yeah.
But anyway, we had a fun trip in Florida. I know right now we're re-gearing and getting our sights set on Kansas.
Yep.
Yeah. So Bill says, what you think of the Osceola gobble compared to the Eastern? Did you notice a difference? I don't know. I was so excited just to hear.
Yeah, that
one
was the first
gobble.
one we heard all weekend, so I was pretty stoked about it. I don't think they're as loud as an Eastern.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, too. I mean, that land down there is flat. You know, there's like a few like rolls, but here, if you get a tom in the bottom of a holler or whatever, it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
That's really the only notice.
But I think the
difference I
Easterns
noticed.
echo through them hollers too. Like
Yeah.
that when they gobble. But
That's really the only difference that I noticed.
yeah.
It does, like, whenever you watch, like, the hunting public videos, it does sound like they're almost kind of choked down a little bit. Like, I don't know. If they just don't have as powerful as a gobble, I don't.
I will say one thing, that cameraman, when he's rattling a call off, it squeaks every now and then.
Makes that
Yeah. We laughed and laughed about that. But
We got a little bit of video. Steven was doing calling for us, and it was funny. He's a pretty decent caller, but that one time he was like real high pitch, and you can see in the video.
Yeah.
Matt starts to laugh. I start laughing. And I don't know. You turned. And
I just
said
turned and looked.
something
I
to
said
him.
something. I don't remember what I said. I said, "What was that?" He just shrugged his shoulders.
He's like, I don't know. But we blame him. That was the end
Yeah.
of the goblin right there.
So, boys, are you ready for Kansas? What,
Yeah, I'm pumped
I'll
for
give.
Kansas.
Hey, let's do this. I'll give you guys a minute to talk.
What do you
This
want to
is gonna
talk
be
about?
funny.
This is supposed to be your show.
This is gonna be funny.
It's supposed to be your show, and it lasted 17 minutes.
Supposed to be your show.
I was just telling about the Florida trip,
I know.
and then we need to talk about Kansas.
Well, it lasted 17 minutes.
Yeah, you'd think if you go all the way to Florida to hunt, there'd be
Well,
more
we
than
didn't kill-
17 minutes.
We didn't kill nothing.
And let's be honest, 5 minutes, I talked about fudge rounds and you.
Yeah. But
The Kansas trip, I think, is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have, 10 of us hunting?
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
think.
we're all staying in a lodge together.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
gonna be a
just
fun
gonna
experience. Plus, I mean, we've had it planned for 3 years now, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, because
Good one.
yeah,
That was
you-
another one that got canceled
Yeah.
last year. Me and you had plans.
Yeah.
So
The good thing about it is,
see
you know,
how
we
he's
talked about-
benefiting from the COVID.
I
I
know.
like it.
He's taking advantage of it.
One positive thing we got going for us, though, is is since the COVID, there wasn't like any non-residents that could hunt some of these states.
Unless they
you know,
already had their tag.
unless they already had their
bought
tag
before.
bought.
Yeah, all this happened.
That's true.
But hopefully, it helps the population out a lot. And
Which
Yeah,
you
what's the
said that Matt Myers talked to the biologist
biologist,
out
that's
there,
what
and
he
he
said.
said that's their
which could be a huge positive.
And that's something that I recommend everybody doing. If you're going to go on an out-of-state hunt, is call up the local biologist
yeah.
and talk to him. Because when I called out there and talked to that guy, man, he was helpful.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
telling me
they,
places. and-
Yeah, they're out
Right.
there every day and they see everything. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best people to get a hold of.
And they'll help you any way they can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that guy was very helpful. So Joe says windy in Kansas. Yep, I'm sure it's going to be. Terry, no, I didn't take any. I never had a Florida tick on me. Matt had one.
there was one on me, and there's one
In
in
the-
Joe's truck bed.
Bobby's truck bed, yeah.
Bobby's. Sorry.
Yep.
That's the only 2 ticks we've seen all weekend.
But we had sprayed down, treated our clothes
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we went. So no, Terry, you can keep them all down there. We don't want any of them.
You keep them banana spiders too.
Yeah, I'm
Banana
glad I didn't see
spiders.
They're
them.
not big around.
Oh no.
The snakes don't bother me at all.
They're bigger than your hand. If you put your hand out like that, the banana spiders are bigger than your hand.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
Me and Steven's got a plan though. We go back.
You
We
put
got a
that
plan
snake
for
anywhere
him.
near me, and
We were rolling laughing just talking about if we could have got
We
to
were set-
Walmart before our last hunt, because I was going to turn the camera on, point it towards him, and then Steven was just going to lay it down next to him and just, when he went to move around, put his hand on it.
we were set up one time, and I wasn't close to them. And they're over chuckling and laughing. I didn't know what they were chuckling and laughing about. Until on the way home, Joe's like, yeah, we were going to get Steven's going to get a fake snake. And because down there, when you sit for so long, you're constantly moving your hands back and forth. Well, what they wanted to do
Trying to
was
shuffle around. a
wait
little
for
bit.
me to shuffle around and then put my hand down on that rubber snake. Oh, I would have come unglued.
Unglued, or he would have just been screaming like a little girl.
Every bit of it. Scream like a girl, unglued.
Yeah, I'm not a reptile.
The snakes don't bother me. Now, one of them banana spiders, you would have heard me scream like,
See, that's not, like, to me, spiders
dude, the
don't.
spider that big around.
Huh?
A spider that big around though?
Dude, a spider this big around, or like a 12-foot long cottonmouth that could kill you. I mean, what?
Hey,
Well, by the name of banana spider, I would think that would probably be able to kill you too.
yeah.
No.
Just take Bobby
Just
with
like
you. He'll
this.
stomp the snake.
No, I ain't
That's
stomping.
what Bobby. That guy was talking about. He said, just go over and stomp him out.
Yeah, no.
Jumps up and bites your kneecap off.
No.
That's
I
what he
wouldn't.
done. He always said he'd just stomp him out.
I'm out.
Look at that.
Spiders?
Terry's going back to that farm that we were at, a horse farm Friday morning.
I want to come back down. Terry, when can I come back down? Can I come down this weekend? I'll go back.
Should be there Friday and already killed one.
Well, that's fine. There was 3 of them. I seen 3 of them. But it was a good trip just because we met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And it always makes it worth it.
Yeah, make some lifetime friends out of it.
Hey,
They're
we
coming.
was just talking about this. Bill said buy a turkey chair for Kansas. It will come in handy.
Oh, we will.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me. I don't care if I got just tie it underneath the vehicle or whatever. If we don't have enough room, I'm taking a
I'm
chair.
taking one with me too.
When you sat that long in one spot,
It was rough.
yeah.
It's not bad when you first sit down because the ground's kind of soft. Like, oh, this ain't too bad. Well, then you sit there for 20 minutes and it's like, good grief. Well, when you're a little heavy set, it packs it down, Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna say anything. Waiting on it.
Little.
Little.
I
Little.
wasn't gonna say it.
Little.
Uh-huh. In the last 2 days, I've heard yourself call yourself tiny and little.
I
Motivation
seen that
roller.
comment on Facebook,
Yeah,
and I
you like
showed
that?
Jared. Jared lost it. It was
Well,
funny.
I'll tell you
2
this,
things.
Zeller.
Tiny part of thirsty
Any
goat
guy I've ever heard someone called tiny,
Yeah. Like old Tiny 290. You ever heard Tiny 290?
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Tiny 390.
There's a guy that lived down the road from my mom and dad. His name was Tiny 290. Or his nickname was Tiny 290.
So we got a group of 10 people going out to Kansas.
Kansas.
So anybody got any suggestions on traveling with 10 people like that and hunting? I don't know. We're even going to get any sleep in that lodge. You snored
No.
like a freight train.
I did not. I mean, seriously, like Friday night. So we went out there and scouting, and we got back, and me and Joe just chilling in the hotel room, and we said, hey, we're gonna get up at 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and go to bed. I was like, all right, sweet. The hotel we were staying in, the doors faced the outside, so you heard every kid that ran up and down the sidewalk. So I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be a long night. So we get laid down, and it was because we drove all day, 12 hours plus scouted, whatever. I bet it wasn't 10 minutes. I'm laying there just chilling out. All I hear is, and I'm like, oh no, so I had a pillow in my hand, and I was headed to Joe's bed, and I thought, this is not the way to start a turkey trip. I'll get him tonight.
Jared said
you
he's
mean
gonna
y'all
take
were
the
in
tent.
2 different beds? I thought y'all had one king size bed.
No. It was,
That's just what we told you
it
guys.
was two full-size beds that they were rough.
Bill, we're going to be hunting both. We'll be hunting mainly public ground, but we've got a little piece of private ground that we're supposed to have access to. So,
And that's the owner's brother, is that what you said?
yeah.
That was that.
We're
private
staying
ground?
at a lodge, and they got a little bit of ground there, but as everybody knows, Kansas is pretty open. So she's got a brother that's got a farm that's supposed to let us go and hunt with out there. It's supposed to have some turkeys on it. So
We're going to try some different tactics because, obviously we don't know the ground. We're going to start getting on some maps here soon and start scouting and stuff. But I'm definitely taking my ground blind with me because, I've seen some good, ground blind setups.
definitely
especially
going
in the
to
middle
have
of
a
the field
ground
or
blind
whatever.
out there.
But I think hopefully, if it plays out right, we can use both. We can either run and gun, use some timber or something, and then use ground blinds if we have to.
And see, when I talked to that wildlife biologist, he just said any woods that has a creek running through it, he's like, that's it. That's the spot you want to go to. So when we get on the maps and start
See,
looking,
yeah.
that's what we're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can get on there and we can put waypoints and stuff to.
Yeah.
That way, when we get there, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we know where we're at.
So-
idea.
Jared says he's going to take a tent, and if the snoring gets that bad, you might as well just bring the
Just
tent.
bring a tent.
because I snore. Peyton said he snores. So,
I don't.
there's going to be 10 people in that thing.
You
So
gotta have your CPAP machine
I got my
with you.
CPAP machine, bud.
I might have to use it.
Hey, it works.
Hey, he's quiet, man. You don't even hear that thing.
Really?
No.
He
I
don't
figured it'd be
snore
loud.
with it, and it's quiet.
Yep.
I slept like a baby.
Not me.
At least that first night, anyway.
Is anybody watching tonight? I don't have my phone because Roller won't fix my headset or my microphone. Has anybody hunted out of state yet? I mean, has anybody been to Florida turkey hunting? I don't know if anybody is watching that's been down there. See kind of what's going on, or what's everybody's plans for turkey season? I know Bill said he's going out of state turkey hunting. He's going out of Ohio. Is anybody else traveling turkey hunting this year?
Right now, you see a lot of hunting groups. There was a bunch of them down there in
Yeah.
There was a
Florida.
bunch.
So
And then South Florida, actually, their season comes in like 2 weeks before,
Yeah.
like Central and North Florida. So
Yeah, because didn't the season open? You all went down there on opening morning, didn't you?
for the northern part,
yeah.
northern
Because
area.
the hunting public been down there for a couple weeks
I
or
think
something like
it's
that. They've been
I-
in southern Florida.
If Terry and them's watching, they can. But I think there's I-70 or there's there's a state road that runs through Florida that separates the north and the south. So, the south comes in before the north.
right. Dakota says he plans on hunting Kentucky sometime. So
Yeah, he's got some Kentucky ground. He got some hookups down there. So, and then I know there's been a lot of people killing them in Mississippi and Alabama and
Yeah.
Georgia too. So,
yeah.
but then the only thing I hate about it is, which is what it is, but the weekend we're going to be in Kansas. And Addie, I don't know. I need to talk to Dakota. I don't know if he'll do it or not, but I'd like to get Addie out youth weekend. Because the weekend we're going to be in Kansas is Indiana's youth weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
As long
he'll
as he's
take
not
her.
working, I'm sure he will.
I'd like for him to, but I don't know if he will. If he's not working, because I know we were on birds last year, hardcore, and they just couldn't get it done. I mean, they come in and we've already showed the video, but they come in and she couldn't. She tried to shoot at him, but it was just a bad angle.
Yeah.
And then that gun she was using was just no single shot 20 gauge, which
Hey, did you see where
she's
they
upgraded.
where they did
410s.
410s are now legal in
Yep.
Indiana?
So anybody watching that has not heard that yet,
Yep.
410s and 28 gauges are legal in the state of Indiana now. So, which I think that's a huge thing because, you shooting turkey loads and stuff. That's one thing that gets kids
kids,
involved.
Yeah.
Give them 410 and if you watch some reviews on YouTube, them 410s can reach out there with turkey loads. So
Here, Terry said Highway 50 splits the zones.
Highway 50,
Just south of Orlando.
There
sweet.
you go.
I knew it was a state highway. I couldn't remember the number.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, cameraman's still watching? He's probably in bed by now.
I think he dozed off.
He's
Him and
probably
Bobby.
in bed. He's probably in bed. But yeah, I'm ready for Indiana season to come in too, which I know. Hopefully, if Dakota doesn't take Addie, then with us hunting Florida, which we didn't kill, but if we kill out in Kansas, then I'm gonna be excited to get her out there and try to get something done. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
It's gonna be a fun trip for sure going to Kansas. So.
That's gonna be a
That's gonna be my
blast.
first out-of-state hunt. So
It's a
You not
blast.
hunted anywhere else yet?
Nope.
I've hunted
The first
Kentucky
one.
on the other state. Well, Florida now, but I mean, Kentucky I've hunted for 13, 14 years.
Yeah. No, it'll be the first
It's fun,
out-of-stater.
especially you get all that crap in the car. And you can't find stuff half the time.
That
Joe
was
just
the
throws
bad
his
thing.
stuff in the back. I'm trying to stay organized here. You got camera gear.
Yeah, that
turkey vest.
I call bull on
that
that.
video you had where you opened up the hatches of his car and it's just piles and piles of junk. I couldn't make out what anything was.
Dude,
in
I
there.
had that all organized, like alphabetical order from left to right.
Good thing your wife's not on here because I bet she.
One trip into the room. We pull in the room. We're going to unload all of our clothes. I take a couple bags in. I come out and it looks like a tornado hit Joe's wife's SUV. And I'm like, what is this? He just, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
And that is true though. I mean, I don't know how many times I was like, "Where's that one camera at? Where's that?" Go?"
That's how you all lost my cable.
Well, I will tell you this, though.
I
We-
won't- no, let me tell you this. I've never once touched in your cable, so
I didn't either. I don't know what happened to him. Did you give them to me?
Yeah.
I don't remember you giving them to me.
I
but
gave you the remote and it was plugged in.
I don't remember.
did he
Both-
bring it back?
What, the remote?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thankfully.
I don't remember the cables, though.
I was worried about it because he had it
I
kind
don't
of strapped
remember.
around his vest there. So
That was a $200.
That thing was
that was a $200 cable.
$200.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Now with that camera, it was pretty sweet.
It was. But I don't know. We'll see. The thing is, well, I'm just thinking about this whole vehicle thing because when you're running and gunning like that, and then we say let's go, there wasn't any kind of organization. You threw your stuff in the truck, threw it in the car, and we were going. You know, 'cause you didn't have time
I think
to.
Bobby was even making fun of us at one time because he just stood up. He's like, "I'm ready to go," and we were like still packing stuff
Yeah.
up.
We get to a spot, and him and Steven were already set up, and here me and Joe's trying to get all our camera equipment, and they're sitting over on the tree, rolling their thumbs, and I'm
They're
like,
probably laughing at us.
oh yeah. They
So
were.
no wonder they can't kill a turkey.
It takes us 45 minutes to get set up at each stand.
Yeah, a lot of fun though.
If anybody, I mean, we have no affiliation whatsoever, but if anybody has ever looked for like an action camera, I know Kay just bought one, but those Insta360s are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The filming technology behind those is crazy. 360-degree view. And if you go on our YouTube page, I know Jared's already edited some with the 360, so it's
They're
pretty
really
cool.
not that hard to use either. I mean, I'm not the most tech savvy person on the face of this earth by any means.
Right.
I had it figured out in about one YouTube video how to get all set up, and
There you go, and there's your product review. If Kay
Product
can do it,
review.
anybody
if
can
Kate
do it.
anybody can do it.
Just don't message him for directions on how to use it.
Steven said next time I'll give Matt his own 4-wheeler.
What do you mean, bud?
I'm gonna say because
That thing was a mud machine.
Yeah, because you all got stuck in it with you on the back.
We had good traction.
I
Straight
think
in the
there's a
mud.
difference between good traction and buried.
No, we were never got buried. Just that one time. And we got buried. Yeah, because he hit the mud hole wrong. I told him how to hit the mud hole, and we would never got stuck. But he didn't want to listen to me. But no, I'd be more than glad to have my own 4-wheeler next time. We should have put him and Adam on there together and gave me Adam's 4-wheeler. What we should have done.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty good.
Adam was 150 pounds soaking wet. So, and then me and Steven's on one.
What
That
did
way we're covered.
Stevens what 240? You said. 'Cause
Yeah, there was me and Steven. There was 600 pounds on there. But we made it through all right.
yeah, it done good.
Yeah, we done good.
He said he about lost you the first 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's when we hit that mud hole. Floors all sitting like this in that mud hole. It's pretty crazy. So
That's pretty good.
down there, we used Molnex Brothers Custom Calls, which thanks Joe for making. If you guys ain't had a chance, check out Joe's Turkey Calls, Molnex Brothers Custom Calls Facebook page. You know they done an awesome job down there for us, and the toms were gobbling that last day. I know we'll kill some birds with them in Kansas and here in Indiana, but get on there and check those out. Check his page out, give it a like. But most of what we used was glass and slate down there because that was pretty much our go-tos. I know that Steven's dad at 802 Custom Calls, we used one of his box calls down there, and they were super sweet.
That was a
for
sweet
box
call.
Yeah,
I really.
Yeah, you
like
show me
that.
pictures. I'd like
They're
to get one. Those are
sweet.
cool.
sounds good. I mean, just the craftsmanship
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah,
And we were
they're
talking
Well-
to Steven about it, and the
Just-
time.
Yeah, just talking with Steven about it, it made me aware why, because he was a tool maker, or is a tool maker, and I was a tool maker myself. And anytime you work as a tool maker, I mean, you take pride in your workmanship,
Right.
and you put the little extra time in to make sure that everything's perfect. And that 802 call, that box call, it was beautiful.
Sweet.
It sounded good. So Bobby's making fun of it. He said we had to wait on y'all everywhere we went. That's true. I can't.
That
even
is true.
deny it.
We can't
even
deny
it.
that.
But thank you, Bobby.
But we thank you for putting up with it. That's for sure.
yeah, at least you can laugh at us.
What else? But you used a mouth call a little bit there for a little
Yeah.
while too.
Yeah.
And then Terry, she could just
If I
she
could-
just used her mouth.
That's
She
what
didn't
I'm
have a
saying.
mouth call.
Get as good as Terry.
I'm like, what in the world?
Well, she's over calling back behind me, and I said something to Matt about. Well, she's got a mouth call. And he said, "No,
That's just
she's
her
doing-
mouth.
That's just
That's-
her.
that's her
Yeah.
mouth call.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
So she could have outdone us all on anything.
Joe gets his $10 Walmart hooter out. He blows in that thing. It sounds like a dying hoot owl. for like 100 yards.
So you got Bobby that can make the hoot owl with
Yeah.
his mouth, and it sounded pretty good. And then I pull out that little Primos because Bobby didn't go that one morning with us, and I pull out little Primos and it's like, I'll just put that.
I look over at him. I'm like, what in
He
the
said,
world was that?
Really?
Oh,
That's fun.
good stuff.
So then I had to hit cameraman. Hey, I want you to hoot
Yeah,
owl. He done a pretty decent one.
he did.
I think Bobby's going to train him a little bit more. But
Yeah. I didn't know what to think when he hit that hoot owl call. I was just like,
just laughed.
yeah, because obviously there's no more birds around. I was like, we're never going to hear a gobble now. Where do you're going on some out of state hunts? Where are you going?
Not this year.
Oh, not this year, next year. huh?
Well, let me take that back. It's not set in stone yet. We've got enough preference points to hopefully pull antelope tags for Wyoming this year.
Gotcha.
Me and my dad and my brother. So fingers crossed. I think we find out end of next month whether or not
That'd
we
be
pull
awesome.
archery antelope tags or not. So
That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
that's always been one of the bucket list hunts right there. So
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
especially out in Wyoming with
Yeah.
a bow. I mean, that's just
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
sweet.
be awesome.
That's like one of those. That's a blind sitting from a 20 yards from a water hole type thing, ain't it?
Yeah.
Ain't that how?
Usually that's what.
I don't know.
I don't know what we're getting into yet.
yeah.
I see it both ways. I see
Yeah.
guys stalking them for 300-400 yards
Yeah.
crawling on their belly, and I see other guys sitting by a water hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my type of hunting. Set by the water hole.
I'd rather crawl around trying to find them.
That's what Matt likes to do too.
What's that about the
Roll
water
around.
hole?
No, crawl around.
No, I don't either. After mine and Corey's turkey hunt last year, I'm gonna pass on that.
Just because one farmer got upset about the ruts.
The
you
ruts
left.
in his field, it was bad. They held water for 6 months.
If it ain't deer hunting, I can't sit still for that long.
Yeah, I can't either.
I mean,
I would
that's why I
either.
love turkey hunting so much. Because
Yeah.
I mean, if you hear them 200 yards away, you
Go
get
get
up
'em.
and you go get them.
Yep.
Unless you have them patterned, then you just kind of sit there and wait on them.
Right.
Yeah.
With my work schedule, usually.
Have
just
you
kinda-
heard any turkeys out there at your place?
I'm not telling you that.
Well, I'm not gonna hunt there. But I know Ben used to shoot a lot of turkeys there. But I didn't know if there's even turkeys still there anymore.
Oh yeah.
Is there?
I
showed
heard.
Dakota
I
a
heard.
picture of one. I mean, whenever you talk about a ground dragger, I mean it's ground dragger
Really?
beard. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's still turkeys out there or not.
I heard the first gobble of the year yesterday morning.
See, that's
Yeah, I mean that's
Well, the weather's
Still
warming
mo-
up and
yeah.
they're starting to get fired up.
still
right
a
behind the
month-
house. I
Still
was
a
like,
month away though. That's what sucks.
I know, and that's because I seen on Facebook that
Zach's been here
Yeah.
too.
I seen he posted that, and then I seen
I'll take
Hoosier
that.
Toms.
Hoosier
Tell him to wait around on me. I'll be back.
Yeah, I feel
Hoosier
privileged
Tom.
now. Who's your Tom?
That's the one that kept running from us.
Yeah.
But see, I did with the new house getting built there, and then the other place. I didn't even know if them Toms would stay around there or not. But unless they're back here, well, they're probably back here on the river. Because if you go all the way down where Dakota hunts, that's all.
That's the
That's
thing.
all the
Was
same
last
ridge.
year was he was hunting them right there on that property line. He could hear them over on my property.
Yep. Me and Dakota
But-
were together last year. They're on Stouts. Like if you go around,
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
kind of bounce around right there. So I think it's going to be a little competition this year. Who's going to get to them first?
right?
We
And then
we'll be sitting on each side of the line, just kind of
just waiting.
dead eyeing each
Yeah.
other.
And you got found some back there behind your house too.
Yeah.
Not sure if there's any birds back there or not.
I got a trail camera picture of a nice long beard.
I'm pretty excited about it.
So
I think all of us pretty much. Is there any birds out there on that lease? Have you seen any
No.
turkeys out there? There ain't none out there.
Used to be covered with them, but
Hmm.
bobcats and coyotes killed them all off.
Really?
I tell you, the bobcats are getting really bad now.
They
yeah,
are.
I
Now,
mean, I've
Florida-
got trail camera pictures. Every time I'd go out and pull trail camera pictures, I mean, I'd have a bobcat on at least once a week.
In
I
Florida,
found
they're
where-
not protected, and there's no season on them.
I found where they killed a turkey back there shed hunting the other day too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just mangled.
Yeah. When they told us that the bobcats weren't protected and there's no season on them, I was like, it ain't like that at home.
No.
it kind of needs to
protected
be. I think.
When's Bill? Is he still watching?
Yeah.
When did you say you're going to Oklahoma, Bill? That should be coming up pretty soon, I
I
think.
think it was like the week before we was going to Kansas, wasn't it? Or
Is it?
2 weeks before, maybe.
I can't remember.
I don't remember when it was either.
Thought he was going a week before us, and then they.
Well, I know they're going striper fishing too. We're going striper fishing, but I can't remember if that was on their way out or on their way home.
Was he got like a round trip planned where he's fishing one spot, turkey hunting in 2 others?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, all right.
That was the plan.
April 4th.
April
Leaving
4th.
April the 4th.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, good luck out there, Bill.
Yep.
Hope you guys have a lot of success.
Have shared pictures with us.
Yeah. Send us some pictures.
Yeah.
What else we got to talk about?
I don't know.
What else we got?
Equipment.
What kind of equipment?
I don't know. What are you using out there, Kansas turkey hunt with?
Oh my
Shotgun.
God. That's a Remington 870 Express 12 gauge.
Mossberg 835.
Remington
Super mag.
1187, 3.5-inch super mag. So
3-inch.
Do any of you guys just have a straight turkey fan? I
No.
mean, not a decoy fan, just a straight borax turkey fan laying around. So
The-
if you know, you'll probably need to take one out there.
We're
Yeah.
taking one. The Jake decoy that Dakota has a detachable fan. So
I know out there hunting Merriam's. I kid you not. I was probably 14, but I mean, you just drive around and just try to spot them out there in the prairies. They kind of hang out in the valleys where the creeks and stuff run through, and you got some like white oak thickets and stuff in there.
right.
And they just kind of hang out and roost in there. And as soon as they come out of the woods, you can just put a fan in front of your face and walk up on them. You don't even.
Huh.
That one year we didn't even use a decoy.
Just use the turkey fan.
Had
Just
a
use
guy
the
in
fan.
front of me with a fan. He said, "Just follow me." And whenever I draw your bow back, and walked right up on a batch of 4 Merriams and 15 yards, and he dropped, and I was at full draw. And
15 yards.
yeah, it was nuts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Don't you think?
He kind of had a little mouth call in him too, just kind of chirping along.
What's everybody staring at me for?
Well, I was just saying you can't be wider than the turkey fan.
Why is it always got to come back to that?
I just like giving you credit.
I know.
bud. Now, you just give it to me the whole way over here.
No, I
so
wasn't. I was nice to you the whole way over here.
Whatever.
Turkey fan, huh? We'll have to make sure we take one.
Yeah, there are little birds out there too. 'Cause, I mean, it's not like around here where they got cornfields. Just go out there and go around, munch on corn, and get real fat. I mean, it's nothing
Right.
to kill a 25-pound bird around here. I mean, out there,
Yeah.
17, 18 pounds is a good bird.
Really?
So, I mean, they just do so much running. Their forages are a lot more scarce than around here. And
They're moving a lot more.
oh yeah, they move a lot more. They're strutting longer. The tom density is a lot more out there too, as far as tom to hen ratios.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, out there you can kill 2 or 3 of them. Here you can only kill 1. So I mean, they're fighting each other. They just don't have any body fat on them at all. Whenever you get dressing one out,
Really?
they're a little bird, but they're pretty.
Huh.
As soon as you fan one out and they got them pearly white tips on the tail fan, I mean, I think they're one of the prettiest birds
Right.
Yeah.
in North America. So
I can't wait.
I can't
I'm
eat
ready
it.
to go.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
ready to
gonna
lead
be
them all. I'm ready to lead them all.
which I'm pretty sure the Rios have a white tips on their
Yeah.
fins like the Merriams, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get some of them that aren't as vibrant.
Is that a hybrid bird? Like,
I don't think it's. I don't know. Really, I really don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, they're getting some hybrid birds.
Yeah.
Like my dad killed one, and he killed a triple beard, and I mean, it was like a real light cocoa colored tip. I mean, it wasn't like dark chocolate like an Eastern fan
Right.
was.
Yeah.
But it had all the characteristics of a Merriam, but the feathers are just a little darker.
I see down there in Florida, you get to a certain point to where, like some of the northern birds are considered hybrid Osceolas, and then once you get, because we were hunting 2 different places, but once you get further south, they're true Osceolas.
Yeah. Bill said Rios has a light brown tip.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I think their secondary feathers are a little bit darker, where the Merriams, the secondary feathers are also white
Yeah.
tipped.
Gotcha.
See, Terry said there was a lot of chat on the Florida Turkey Group site saying how the turkeys weren't gobbling this past weekend, so it was all over the state there. They were
It
just
wasn't just us, then.
no, it was just that cold front that
Yeah.
just shut them down. So
Need to go back.
Terry said we use the same decoys out there, and that's a question I've had too.
yes,
Do you think that if they see a decoy, do you think if you have a regular Eastern fan, Do you think that they'll be like,
I-
oh, well, that's
well,
weird?
I'll tell you what. When I
I mean, if you can sit there and put a tail fan in front of
Yeah.
your face and walk,
If-
I mean, granted,
Yeah.
they're not all that easy.
I don't know.
Found a
When I
Denver.
pulled out my
Right.
gobbler and blew it up, I mean, what did Steven say? He said, "My lands, that thing's huge for these
Yeah.
birds down here. It's like you're gonna scare them off."
That was a big decoy, though. That was like something you see on Macy's Day Parade when you blew that thing up.
goodness.
The Matt Lamar
That was a big decoy.
It wasn't that big. It was too big to use for the Osceolas. I do
Well,
agree
that
with
might be
Yeah,
the
he
one
said-
you take to Kansas to walk behind.
Yeah, there you go. Hold
I'll
that
let you
balloon up.
use it.
Yeah. Going back to that point though, I don't think there is. I think if Tom, when they're looking at it, it's
I
a
don't think they're really gonna.
strutting Tom. So
Yeah.
they see, as a threat.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Steven had a good point though. When Tom coming in to fight, they don't want to see one that's this freaking big.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
be like looking at it. No, I'm not going over there.
We're the same way. But I don't think it probably matters.
40-pound decoy. That's what Steven said. Cameraman.
Tell him log off.
Log off. We're done.
I don't know. I think we need to take everything but the kitchen sink out there, in my opinion.
I'm going to.
Ground blinds, decoys, turkey fans.
I'll send you the kitchen sink if you want to.
Yeah, we can throw it
I
on
got
top.
like folding tables that hook up to a water spigot outside,
There we go.
like fish clean tables. That's what I clean my birds on, and they quarter out deer and stuff.
We tried to get my wife to buy one Bass Pro and she wouldn't buy it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was my
Don't
Christmas
mention
gift.
that.
My
Just
wife
go
got
get
me
it.
one for Christmas.
That's what I need.
It was gonna be for your birthday.
It's for Christmas.
Was it for
Yeah,
Christmas?
so
Yeah.
you can buy it.
Yeah.
It's handy.
Yeah, I'd like to have one.
You know what's going to happen this weekend, don't you?
What?
Terry's going to send us pictures of her standing next to a bird. Just to tease
I'll
us.
just jump in the truck and go. I got vacation time left. That video? That's
Yeah.
funny. Is that your man with the little beard?
Oh.
That's a funny video.
What else we got? I can't look. I'm going to do something. I'm going to work on this table tonight before we leave, boys. Somebody's got
Work on the table.
maintenance department around this place is not very good. Hang on, man. I'll be back here in a second. I'm looking at the comments. They all get in the truck on the way home and be like, man, you never shut up. I'm like, well, what did you say? Nothing.
Oh, we can't talk whenever you're constantly talking.
Floor's your guys's. Let me look at my comments. You guys can talk while I'm looking at comments. Because Joe's phone's not buzzing in the mic.
It's like he wants us to talk about the comments, but he's still talking about the comments.
What do you mean?
You know
Yeah,
what
whatever.
we need to do is get together this next week. We need to plan a day. Call
Yeah.
that biologist. Get everybody there. We can ask the questions that
Yeah.
we want to ask.
Be like, where's these turkeys gonna be at so I can come kill one?
I'm in. I'm
and
in,
can
Bill.
you take us to them?
Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
We need to plan it out. Let's go.
What's that?
Gold's hunt.
Oh yeah, Mexico.
That's a pretty big bird, ain't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goulds. Is
Yeah.
it Mexico the only place that has them? The Goulds.
I think
Where's them oscillated
oscillated.
birds
That's
Them things
the
are wild
southern
looking.
peninsula of Mexico.
Yeah.
I got bored the other night and was on a like Worldwide Trophy Adventures or something.
Yeah.
Just dreaming about maybe someday being able to spend 50 grand on a moose hunt. And I found the oscillated turkeys on there. I started watching videos on them, but yeah,
at?
sounds
That's
like
a
southern
wild looking
peninsula.
bird.
Oh yeah, I got watching the videos. They don't really call them. I mean,
Huh.
sounds like they find them in the roost and just shoot them out of the roost. The videos I
Oh,
was
wow.
watching, they just get running through the jungle. It looks denser than Florida. I mean, you think Florida was bad? This place looks wild.
Huh.
You got your little guide kind of in front of you, dragging you along, and then all of a sudden he'll point, and they just shoot him out of the roost out there.
Terry said she's in on the. She said, "Bill, I'm in on the Gold's hunt too. Let's just get a
Wow.
big group of us and go.
There you
That'd
go.
be
Start
sweet.
We'll
planning.
go down there.
Start planning.
That's awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's a slam, right? So you get your 4 in the United States,
Yeah.
and if you add the golds, what is that? I think if you can just add that one bird, it's
I'm having a
I
brain
can't remember.
fart. I just
I am
told you
too.
about it like 2 hours ago. It's not a World Slam.
Is it
maybe?
Grand Slam?
Grand Slam is
That's just
the
the
four
four.
Is the
subspecies
four,
that's
in
right.
the continental
It's the
U.S.
World
World
Slam.
Slam.
World
Yeah.
Slam.
That's it.
Yeah,
You get the gold and the oscillated, then it makes it a World Slam.
Yeah.
got you.
Bill thinks there's a few Goulds in Arizona. He's not sure though.
Might be. You check it out.
I wonder if there is, if they're the mix there
Yeah.
too. You know.
It's still considered a Golds, though, right? I mean,
No, it's half Goulds, half.
yeah, but if
Whatever.
you kill a hybrid Osceola, it's still considered an Osceola turkey in Florida.
It can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
2 for 1 hunt. You killed you Osceola and an Eastern all in one if it's a mix.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't count us both though. It'd be nice.
To us, it does.
Yeah.
To us, it does.
Mental notes.
Is there anybody on that has gotten their Grand Slam already?
Bill has.
Bill probably has.
I think Bill said he has 2 of them.
Dang.
He's done it twice.
Mm-hmm.
What's he do for a living, man?
Turkey
Go
hunt.
down there and work with that turkey
Goes around
hunt.
kills turkeys. But yeah, I think he's got it twice. I think Kathy's either got. I think she finally got hers or working on it. She only needs like
Wow.
one bird to get hers. I think.
Yes, that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty awesome.
I was telling the wife I want to move down there to Florida now.
It's a whole. I mean,
Other than deer hunting, I don't know about the deer hunting. They run with dogs, and that'd be hard, I would think. But just go work on one of them horse farms. I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of them around. There's a Joe. He says he's got his Grand Slam. Get to town. Bill's saying the National Wild Turkey Federation will look at the town it was killed in to determine if it'll count towards it or
I
not.
think that's right.
Joe went with Bill. He got his with Bill. I guess we need to be hunting with Bill to
Yeah,
get a
that's
Grand
kind of
Slam.
what I'm.
It's all on
thinking
you now,
of.
Bill.
Yep.
That's how we're gonna get her Grand Slam.
yeah, but how they do that though? Sorry, I'm overthinking this, but if you look at the town. I mean, could there not be more than like one species in that town? I guess. Like, how do you know if a true Osceola turkey migrates across the county border?
It's probably what we were saying with Florida. There's probably a line, and they'll
Yeah.
say, "What town did you kill it in?" And you tell them, and then they'll look and see if it's
I guess you can go off that. I
one
guess.
side of the line or the other. I would think. Oh, there you go.
Like, I mean, what I'm saying is you just hate to go all the way to Florida and then get your Osceola, and then I guess it's a mental Grand Slam. I mean, it doesn't really have to have a certificate.
Yeah,
with
but you
it,
want it
Well-
to count, though.
But
Like whenever I was out getting my last Merriam, I really did my research on some of the breed characteristics at the time, and I was almost, since I'd already killed a Merriam before, I was a little bit more selective like I am deer hunting. You pass on some bucks, let them grow another year. I was strictly looking for the breed characteristics within that subspecies, because I mean they had some of the crossover hybrid birds. I mean, like with the Osceolas, I mean they got the dark wings, long legs, so
Yeah.
right.
I mean, like, all right, I was getting my Merriam. I wanted pearly white tips. I didn't care if it was 2-year-old, 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Like whenever we fanned that one and I was at full draw on them, I didn't shoot one because I mean they were just kind of chocolatey covered tips on their fan.
You want the true
I
white.
wanted pearly white.
Retrace comment. Trey
That's
says
pretty funny.
Bill ain't real pretty up close, but he is one of the best turkey hunter callers there is.
Hey,
We don't care what he looks
we
like.
don't care what he looks like. Looks
He's
ain't
a bird.
everything.
Obviously, you lead this group.
I know.
Yeah.
Very,
He talks, so that's
very successful group.
Lead.
I follow a lot.
I follow a lot.
I follow a lot.
all right.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
so just a few things, announcement wise. Tyler Feaster did message me today and said that our website is now up and running, full steam ahead. It is hhoutdoorstv.com. If you get a chance, go in there and check it out. We don't really have a whole lot of content on there yet, but our store is on there for all of our apparel, so you can go in there and shop now. All of our sponsor logos are on there. So all of our sponsor logos are at the bottom. If you click on their logo, it takes you straight to their website or Facebook page. Excuse me. So you can check that out. I want to thank our sponsors for the Struttin and Ruttin podcast. Very thankful for these people that help us do what we do every other week. We got Gilpin Electric, Tommy Taylor Insurance, Greens Auto Sales in Salem, Knothead Tackle in Seymour, Excel Deer Mineral. Get a hold of Josh and Warren. Right now it was a good time to start putting mineral out. Titan Tent and Graphics in Salem. They moved to a new location, which is going to be awesome. They're in Salem. They're right behind the Walgreens. They are also opening up a auto detailing business within that. So they do window tint, auto detailing, and they can also do some decals and some letter work. Solutions Directional Drilling, Pride Outdoor Network, and the Campbellsburg Conservation Club. They have trap shoots on Friday nights and stillboard shoots on Saturdays. So I know we're getting geared up for turkey season. Tonight was kind of just a recap of our Florida trip, preparing for Kansas. 2 weeks, we're going to start breaking down more like turkey hunting scenarios to get everybody ready for turkey season. Some stuff that we've encountered that went right, some stuff we've encountered that went wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of give everybody a, I don't know, crash course in something, whether it's right or wrong. That's how we do it. Before turkey season gets here, get everybody geared up because we're a month away.
One more show and then
we'll leave for Kansas.
Yeah.
So next podcast we're gonna bring in some calls. We're gonna bring in. We're gonna be turkey fevered up on the next podcast, full turkey. So
yep.
Get everybody ready to go.
I'm ready.
Anybody else got anything tonight you want to discuss, talk about, complaints, anything?
Nope.
Nothing at all.
Good.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you tune in 2 weeks, and we'll get geared up for turkey season. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.